All right, everyone. The Democratic Party is hoping that people have a low attention span. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, that is actually the case. It's actually the case. Link in the description, archived, of course, a fluff piece about Joe Biden. And are you kidding me? Joe Biden is this great guy, and he did a lot of stuff for the nations, basically the DNC convention thing going on. Yeah, he did a lot of things. Like the tough on crime bill that enabled, by the way, in part, people like Kamala Harris to jail tens of thousands of people under felony charges for minor possession of drugs. That was a real winner. You mean the Joe Biden that has been stumbling around for the last few years, hiding the fact that he was in cognitive decline? The one that was a massive failure at the debate with Trump to the point where Trump barely even had to debate? That Joe Biden. Oh, you mean the Joe Biden that caused significant spike in inflation, leading to people effectively having to take out second jobs in order to buy groceries, also causing a public debt crisis as people buy credit cards when they can't find a second job. That Joe Biden? Or do you mean the Joe Biden that reigned over our diplomatic response in Ukraine, over Taiwan potentially, and at the indefinite future, the collapse of ECOWAS, the invasion of Israel by Hamas, and then counter-invasion by the Israelis? Yeah, that Joe Biden, yeah, he's a great guy. You mean the one that said it's a big fucking deal when Obama was about to give one of his major speeches and Obama had to, like, literally push him away? Yeah, he's a great guy. What's being done is a major gaslighting attempt. They're trying to recast Joe Biden not as the bumbling oaf that was also a fairly malevolent senatorial figure. They're trying to focus on the handful of things that he did back when he was not in cognitive decline in order to shape his legacy as his failed single-term president, by the way, as something else. They want a presidential library. And, the Joseph Biden High School and stuff like that. He wants to have a legacy. I have no doubt that the sanitization of Joe Biden's record, which has been an abysmal failure for years, has to do with him parlaying with the Democratic Party. That is, they said, you cannot win. It's not feasible that you're going to beat Donald Trump. We don't have any faith in you. You need to stand down. But we can sweeten the deal a little bit. After you're dead, you'll have lots of libraries and shit like that. We'll make sure that people remember you fondly as sort of a grandfatherly figure, a solemn statesman who represented the core values of a past era of the United States and simply didn't choose the second term because he stood down for his nation. That's basically his line, too. And it's a complete cop-out. No, you said, motherfucker, no, you didn't stand down because you said, well, it's time to pass the torch. I love my nation, and so I figured I could serve it best by letting Kamala... And that's, no. That's bullshit. That's baloney. Even the liberals don't really believe it. They'll just tacitly accept the explanation because Orange Man bad. The real reason is because he got knocked out by your fellow Democrats. If I had been Joe Biden, I would have gone up on stage, flipped the bird, and said, fuck this party. I would have said, you thought that my polling was low, and so you effectively forced me to stand down. Fuck yourselves. That's what a true hero would have done, by the way. And he didn't do that. In the end, he took the bribe, I suppose. I'm sure that he's getting something material out of this for himself, and then Hunter gets, maybe Hunter's the big guy now, maybe he gets the 10%. No doubt whatsoever, objectively, 100%, they bribed him. They told him, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is you stand down, we'll give you all sorts of accolades, celebrate your presidential existence, we'll make sure that you get the presidential library, your family will be flush for 3 generations, and all of that shit that they can provide. The hard way is if you stay in, we're going to pull support from the ticket. And you will be crushed and humiliated in the process. That's what they told him. They gave him the carrot and the stick treatment, basically, treating him like a fucking, like a livestock, or like a fucking stock animal or something like that, like an ox or a donkey. Donkey being rather fitting, considering it's the Democratic Party. You know it, and I know it. Some liberals will ignore it, but that's what's happening. They're trying to sanitize him, therefore. And the other part is that, of course, Kamala was his VP. So they have to sanitize Joe Biden preemptively because Donald Trump is going to try to connect her to the Biden administration. Again, inflation, border crisis, numerous foreign policy failures, the Afghan withdrawal, etc. He's going to try to peg them together, which makes political sense. Obviously, you're running for re-election. You've got a very unpopular incumbent, and now you've got this upstart VP. Well, she's the second in command of the whole administration at the executive level. So you tie the two of them together and say, you go before the public and say, look, she's not blameless for any policies that you may have disliked when Joe Biden was in office, because she was literally there. She was meeting with him and stuff like that. They met. They took, bestie selfies together and shit like that, all the cringy shit that the administration has done for photo ops. She can't even buy a bag of Doritos. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's second only maybe to the Chaz Carton, actually. Oh my God, I was laughing pretty hard when I saw that. But this is gaslighting. The legacy media and the Democratic Party at large are trying to gaslight the public into ignoring all of the shit that Biden has done and think of him as just, he's a senior statesman, a rather solemn and civic individual whose face will be chiseled into the halls of human memory. That's not Joe Biden. Joe Biden was a malevolent senator, an absolute gadfly senator. He was the jester-in-chief when he was VP under Obama. He did a shitty job as president of the United States. He wrecked the economy. He wrecked the U.S. border even more than it was already wrecked, even under Trump's best of moments. He presided over an administration that was completely incoherent, and he is too. Let's go through it. You realize how long the reel would be if we slap together the video of all of the times that he fell down during his administration and in some cases mildly injured himself. It'd be like a 30-minute reel, just of, you could put a laugh track on it. What about if we made a video reel of all the times that he was perving on people that were obviously underage? That would be hours long. In fact, I think that such a reel probably exists. I've seen some compilations. None of them seem to be complete. It's depraved the way they're trying to sanitize this man. He did a 0 out of 10 job as President of the United States. Nothing else really matters. Doesn't matter if he was just basically a gaffe master, court jester VP. That's ancient history at this point. It doesn't matter that he made some gains as a senator, or was a ranking member, or he sat on some committee. Nobody. That was back in the 1970s and 80s. What are you talking about? He was the architect of the '94 tough on crime bill that literally enabled people like Kamala to tyrannize the population. There's not very much good about Joe Biden. Trying to sanitize him is just gaslighting. That's about all. Peace out.